Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in space? It's a notion that's been romanticized, glamorized, and sensationalized in countless books, movies, and television shows. The allure of space, the final frontier, with its infinite expanse of stars, galaxies, and celestial wonders, has always captivated our collective imagination. Imagine waking to the sight of a radiant sunrise every 90 minutes, or the thrill of floating effortlessly from one module to another. Picture yourself gazing out at the Earth, a dazzling blue orb suspended in the velvet blackness of space. It's a life devoid of mundane tasks like mowing the lawn or doing the dishes. Instead, your days are filled with scientific experiments and spacewalks, interspersed with the occasional chat with mission control. There's no denying it, living in space seems like the stuff of dreams, an extraordinary adventure that few have had the privilege to experience. It's a unique existence, far removed from the familiar rhythms and routines of life on Earth. It's a world where the laws of physics as we know them are turned upside down, where the concepts of up and down lose their meaning, and where the mundane becomes magical. But peel back the layers of this romanticized image, and you'll find a reality that's far different and more complex. Behind the scenes of this stellar spectacle, there's a harsh, unforgiving environment that poses a multitude of challenges to those brave enough to venture into it. Space living isn't just about the thrill of exploration or the beauty of the cosmos. It's a test of human endurance, resilience, and adaptability. It's about overcoming the unexpected, the unknown, and the seemingly insurmountable. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, not just in terms of technology, but also in terms of human potential. But what if I told you the reality was far different and fraught with unexpected challenges? First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the absence of it: gravity. The pull of gravity is something we take for granted here on Earth, every step we take, every move we make. But in space, it's a whole different ballgame. In the absence of gravity, our bodies start to change. Our muscles, no longer needing to work against gravity, begin to shrink, a phenomenon known as muscle atrophy. It's like the ultimate couch potato syndrome, without the couch. And it's not just our muscles. Our bones get in on the act too. Without the constant stress of carrying our weight, our bones start losing density, becoming more fragile over time. Imagine it as a constant, silent battle your body is fighting, trying to adapt to this alien environment, striving to keep up with the changes, the challenges. And all this happens while you're floating around, seemingly weightless, in the vast expanse of space. Even the strongest of us would feel weak in the knees or lack thereof after a prolonged stay in space. Next up, we have a silent but deadly enemy: radiation. Imagine being constantly bombarded by invisible bullets. That's what cosmic radiation is like in space. Unlike on Earth, where our magnetic field shields us, in space there's no such protection. This constant exposure can lead to a multitude of health issues. One of the most serious risks is the increased likelihood of developing cancer. Cosmic rays composed of high-energy particles can damage DNA and cells, triggering the onset of this deadly disease. Astronauts are in the line of fire every day, making their heroic exploration of the cosmos a risky endeavor. Besides cancer, radiation can also cause cataracts, impair the immune system, and even affect the nervous system, leading to cognitive issues. It's a complex and multifaceted problem that space agencies are actively trying to solve. It's a constant and invisible threat that makes space living a high-risk venture. Space is a lonely place, and living there can take a toll on your mind. Imagine waking up every day, surrounded by the infinite expanse of space. The Earth, your home, is just a small blue dot in the distance. You're confined within the tight quarters of a spacecraft with only a handful of fellow astronauts for company. This is the reality of living in space, and it can have profound psychological effects. Isolation is one of the most significant challenges. You're cut off from the world, physically isolated from your loved ones and the comforts of home. There's no popping out for a change of scenery or a quick chat with a friend. You're stuck in the same place, day in, day out, with the same few faces. It's not hard to see why this can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation. Then there's the issue of confinement. The International Space Station, for instance, is about the size of a 6-bedroom house. That might sound spacious, but remember, this is the only space you have. There's no going outside for a breath of fresh air. You can't go for a walk or run to blow off steam. This long-term confinement can lead to feelings of restlessness, frustration, and even claustrophobia. Depression is another concern. The combination of isolation, confinement, and the stress of living in such a unique and challenging environment can take a toll on your mental health. Astronauts have reported feelings of sadness, lethargy, and a lack of motivation. These symptoms can be exacerbated by the lack of natural light and the disruption of normal sleep patterns. It's clear that living in space isn't just a physical challenge. It's a mental and emotional one too. It requires a certain mental fortitude, resilience, and psychological preparedness. Astronauts undergo extensive psychological training before their missions, learning techniques to cope with these challenges. But it's an ongoing struggle, a battle against the mind as much as against the harsh realities of space. It's not just physically challenging, but mentally demanding as well. Now, imagine trying to do your daily chores in a weightless environment. Have you ever wondered how astronauts manage their day-to-day life in space? In the absence of gravity, even the most mundane tasks become a bit of a circus act. Let's take a closer look at the logistics of daily life in zero gravity. Mealtime, for instance, is quite the adventure. Food particles can easily float away, so meals must be carefully packaged and sometimes dehydrated. Astronauts use specially designed utensils and containers to eat and drink. They even have to secure themselves to the walls during meals to avoid floating away. Sleeping in space is also an entirely different ballgame. Without the familiar pull of gravity, astronauts can't just lie down on a bed. Instead, they sleep in small personal sleeping quarters, strapped into sleeping bags to prevent them from drifting around. And remember, there are no cozy pillows in space, as your head wouldn't sink into it without gravity. Personal hygiene in space is another hurdle. Astronauts can't have a traditional shower as water would simply float around, potentially damaging equipment or causing a choking hazard. Instead, they use specially formulated waterless products like shampoo and soap to clean themselves. Even brushing teeth becomes tricky, as you can't simply spit into a sink. And then there's the question of, well, going to the bathroom. In zero gravity, waste doesn't just fall into the toilet bowl. So, toilets in space use airflow to guide waste into the right place. It's a delicate operation that requires some practice. These daily tasks we take for granted on Earth are transformed into complex operations in space. The lack of gravity forces astronauts to adapt and innovate, turning the mundane into the extraordinary. The next time you're doing your chores, spare a thought for the astronauts who are performing the same tasks just a few hundred kilometers above you in the vastness of space. Even the simplest tasks become monumental challenges when there's no up or down. Think your diet is bland? Try space food. Now let's delve into the culinary world of astronauts. It's not all freeze-dried ice cream and vacuum-sealed meals. The lack of fresh food is a significant challenge. Imagine craving a crisp apple or a juicy steak, but all you've got are packets of rehydrated meals. And then there's the issue of taste perception. Without gravity, bodily fluids move around differently, often leading to a stuffy nose. This is similar to having a cold on Earth, where your sense of taste is dulled. So astronauts often crave spicy, tangy, or sour foods that can cut through this dulled sense of taste. Eating in space isn't just about nutrition and sustenance. It's about comfort, morale, and a sense of normalcy. But despite the best efforts of food scientists, space food can't quite replicate the taste, texture, and experience of Earth food. It's a far cry from your favorite home-cooked meal. In space, even a simple hello can take a while. Now, you might be wondering, why is that? Well, it's all because of the vast distances involved. When astronauts are on the International Space Station, or ISS for short, their messages take a little over a second to reach us here on Earth. That might not seem like much, but it can make conversations feel a bit disjointed. Now, let's talk about Mars. If you wanted to have a chat with someone on the red planet, you'd need to factor in a delay of anywhere from 4 to 24 minutes, depending on Mars's position in its orbit. That's a long time to wait for a response, isn't it? And then there's the effect on personal relationships. Imagine telling a loved one good night and not hearing it back until you're almost ready to start the next day. It's a unique challenge that astronauts have to face. It's not quite like phoning home. Feeling a little off? It could be space sickness. You might not have thought about it, but our bodies are so finely tuned to Earth's gravity that when we're suddenly in a weightless environment, it can throw us for a loop, literally. Space sickness, also known as space adaptation syndrome, is a common ailment among astronauts. It's caused by the changes in gravity affecting the inner ear, which is responsible for our sense of balance. Symptoms can range from mild disorientation and dizziness to nausea and vomiting. Imagine trying to perform complex tasks or scientific experiments while feeling like you've just stepped off a roller coaster. Not ideal, right? What's more, space sickness doesn't discriminate. Even seasoned astronauts can fall victim to it. The body eventually adapts to the new environment, but it can take a few days. And those first few days, it's enough to make even the most seasoned traveler feel a bit queasy. Space isn't as empty as you might think. While it's easy to imagine the cosmos as a vast, unoccupied expanse, the reality is quite different. Orbiting our planet at breakneck speeds are millions of pieces of space debris, each posing a potential threat to astronauts and spacecraft alike. This debris is a varied assortment, ranging from tiny flecks of paint shed by spacecraft to spent rocket stages to defunct satellites. These fragments, while seemingly insignificant, are anything but. Traveling at speeds up to 17,500 miles per hour, even something as small as a fleck of paint can pack a punch, akin to a hand grenade when it collides with an object. This is the perilous reality of space travel, a realm where a speck of dust can be a deadly projectile. Space debris isn't just a hazard for astronauts on spacewalks. It's also a threat to the integrity of the spacecraft itself. The International Space Station, for instance, regularly has to maneuver out of the path of potentially dangerous debris. These debris-dodging maneuvers, while effective, are not foolproof, and the risk of collision remains a constant concern. The danger doesn't stop there. Upon re-entry, larger pieces of debris can survive the fiery descent through Earth's atmosphere, posing a risk to people and property on the ground. In fact, the latter part of the 20th century saw several incidents of space debris causing damage and even injury upon re-entry. So while the stars may be beautiful and the sight of Earth from orbit breathtaking, the reality is that space is a hazardous place. Every time we launch a satellite, send a probe to another planet, or send astronauts to the International Space Station, we are navigating a minefield of man-made debris. It's a constant reminder that even in the vastness of space, danger can come from any direction. Far from the safe haven it might seem, space is a battlefield where the enemy is not an alien invader, but our own discarded remnants. Space living might not be as glamorous as it seems. As we've journeyed through the cosmos in this video, we've uncovered the unexpected challenges that astronauts face every day. The absence of gravity, for instance, presents a myriad of difficulties, from the mundane to the severe. Everyday tasks we take for granted, like eating a meal or washing our hands, become complex puzzles in zero gravity. Moreover, the lack of gravitational pull on the human body leads to muscle atrophy and bone density loss. Astronauts must commit to a strict regimen of exercise, 2 hours a day, just to maintain their physical health. Even then, they return to Earth weaker than when they left. Radiation is another silent threat that lurks in the expanse of space. Without the protective blanket of our atmosphere, astronauts are exposed to high levels of radiation, which can lead to long-term health problems like cancer and cataracts. The psychological strains of space living are also far from negligible. Astronauts are isolated for months on end, away from their loved ones, and the breathtaking view of Earth serves as a constant reminder of the distance. In the realm of the mundane, the taste of space food leaves much to be desired. Astronauts must make do with rehydrated meals and vacuum-sealed snacks that often lack the flavor and texture of their earthly counterparts. Then, there are the communication delays. A simple conversation with mission control can be riddled with pauses due to the time it takes for signals to travel through space. Space sickness is another challenge. a type of motion sickness that can leave astronauts debilitated during their initial days in space. Lastly, we have the danger of space debris. Traveling at speeds of up to 17,500 miles per hour, even the smallest piece of debris can cause significant damage to spacecraft. So, next time you gaze up at the stars, remember the brave souls living among them, battling challenges we can barely imagine from the comfort of our earthly homes. As we draw the curtains on this cosmic journey, we are eager to read your thoughts. What fascinates you the most about life beyond Earth? Are you willing to face the challenges that come with the opportunity to reside among the stars? Share your opinions in the comment section below. Discussions like these help us all in enlarging our mutual understanding of the universe. If this video has imparted something new to you, we'd appreciate it if you could like the video. Your support means a lot to us. To stay informed about more content like this, remember to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for timely notifications. Also, do think about sharing this video with your friends and family. Who knows, it might ignite curiosity about space exploration. Thanks for being with us, and until we meet again, remember to keep your eyes on the stars.